Hello everybody and welcome back to Culz Book Reviews. I sure hope you guys are enjoying the books we're discussing, and definitely we have a lot more in store for you in 2025. Currently it looks like it's going to be the year we discuss the most books, so I'm really kind of excited. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure to go check out our episode, The Society of Main Characters, where we discuss the Midnight Library. We have begun a book club, which is going to be the Society of Main Characters, as well as that is the name of our collaboration channel with some of our friends, so make sure go in the description below and check that out. But today we're going to be checking out The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or as you can see here, at least with this Barnes & Noble copy, The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Now we are checking this one out because we are doing a whole deep dive into a bunch of Wizard of Oz related stuff leading up to the release of Wicked for Good, Wicked Part 2, and this month we checked out the original 1939 movie starring Judy Garland as Dorothy Gale, and of course I wanted to check out the book and see what it was about, having never read it before this reading. So I was excited at least to see what was changed for the movie, maybe a little bit more about Oz, and just see what started it all, considering this book was written in 1900. Definitely making it one of the older books so far that we've covered on this channel. I know we've done some 1800s, but always really excited to kind of take a step back into history. But without further ado, let's get started. Now, as we look at this book, it is the special Barnes & Noble edition. I do have a couple other books from this series that they're doing. I just really like how they look. They look really, really nice. And of course, we did Wicked, which was a kind of other nicer bound editions, leather bound editions. But yeah, this one really nice. You see a lot of color on the cover. I would have liked to see some green in the Emerald City. I know in the book it's like white. Spoilers, well, I guess we'll get to that. But again, they do make those slippers red like the movie, so just something I would have liked. But yeah, I love the, it's like a baby blue color with the yellow brick road going all around. You can see some other design choices. You see the balloon highlighted by red. You got the ruby red slippers, one of the flying monkeys there. You get the heart that the Tin Man eventually gets. Again, the Emerald City. You see Toto there peeking out of the basket. And up here is a picture from the movie, or a still or promotional image featuring Scarecrow, Tin Man, Dorothy, and the Cowardly Lion. Of course, you get The Wizard of Oz, the title, as well as the author right there, L. Frank Baum. On the side, we get the balloon again, The Wizard of Oz, L. Frank Baum, the ruby red slippers, and just some more just really nice detailing on the top and bottom there. On the back, it's pretty much the same outside design, but in the middle you get There Is No Place Like Home, and then L. Frank Baum, The Wizard of Oz. Also, this one has like a kind of gold look to the pages. Kind of nice looking there. The last page doesn't have any numbers printed there, but it does go to 224 pages. You can see that here with the penultimate page, stating it as page 223. Now, lots of words, but being that this was written as a children's book, there is a lot more pictures. And they go throughout different colors. As you see here, when they're in the Emerald City, lots of greens, and it kind of just depends where they are in the story. As far as like some are yellow there, you can see. Some are green again. This one was more of like a realistic color, I guess. The reds are popping right there. Back to green. So Oz is really green. You see more of a kind of realistic color here, with the lion sporting like the colors of a lion, the Tin Man being kind of shiny. So overall though, the drawings are really kind of cool to see. Obviously, if you're like me, you've probably at least seen them in passing, but to see them in the actual story, in the location where the pictures are happening, just really cool. Now on the inside cover you get this picture from the film, and on the back inside cover you get this picture from the film. So overall, what did I think of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz? Well, honestly, I thought the writing actually held up pretty well. Having read some books from the 1800s, they definitely have a feel from the time. When reading them, even if they're not from the same author, you can tell what time period they were written. They just have a certain flair, certain writing style. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz definitely feels like it was written closer to today. Definitely has more of a modern feel, maybe just a timeless feel. And that's pretty amazing given that this was written in 1900. Granted, as you read this, there's going to be words and phrases that definitely mean something different in 1900 than they do today. So again, it does show its age there. It's not a perfect book. Things change over time. It does show it there. As far as the adaptation from a book to movie, I think overall they did a good job. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz definitely has a lot more to it. It's not just a simple house crashes, you run into the kind of main characters, the wicked witches throughout. They go meet Oz, they get sent to destroy the witch, go back to Oz, and the movie's over. In the book, there's a lot more fleshing out of the world of Oz itself, a lot more lands, a lot more characters. I mean, some of the characters that are pretty prominent in the movie are very kind of just brief characters in here, i.e. Glinda doesn't really show up until the end. They've kind of mixed Glinda and the Witch of the North in this book into what we see in the film adaptation. Also, the Wicked Witch only appears in the chapter where they go to the castle. We don't see her trying to thwart their attempts to get to the castle or anything like that. Up until they are on her doorstep, pretty much. She's not showing up here or there, or even when the Wicked Witch of the East is crushed by the house. She doesn't show up then. In fact, the Good Witch of the North doesn't magically put the shoes on Dorothy. She just takes them off and puts them on because her shoes were shabby. And she was like, hey, if it lasted so long for her and they still look so good, they must be really good, and I need some good shoes for walking. Another big difference is the movie, it's very clearly a dream. There's even mirrored characters from the real world into Oz. In this book, what happens in Oz is real. I mean, even up to the end where Dorothy goes back to Kansas, her uncle and aunt have had enough time to completely rebuild their house. It's a new house. They've had time. So she's been gone a while. And being that it's a real place, you actually see Dorothy worried about food. She's rationing food on her journey to go meet the wizard. And also she feels a sense of joy knowing that the other characters, Tin Man and Scarecrow, don't have to eat, because then she wouldn't have enough food to make it. So there's some actual real world things going on, because this is really happening in this book. This was kind of written to be the anti-fairy tale, at least different than the Grimm's fairy tales that everyone's kind of aware of at this point. Pretty much we're meeting the characters in similar styles. Now I will say there's quite a bit of times that one of our main characters is left for dead. And while the other characters are terribly sad, they're going to go on. Scarecrow at one point is stuck on the pole in the water and probably going to fall in and just completely melt away and die or whatever. The lion, when he falls asleep in the poppies, one of the characters mentions, I hope he has a good forever sleep. They're okay. And luckily, for Scarecrow, a giant heron swoops in and helps save him. For the lion, there's the queen of the field mice who help pull out the lion. Also, only Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion make it to the castle where the Wicked Witch is, because the witch obviously wants the shoes, and the witch wants to use the lion as one of her minions to do her bidding, and has the monkeys throw the Tin Man down a deep ravine. He gets super banged up, just huge boulders and just jagged edges all over. They tear apart Scarecrow. Also, Tin Man does a ton of killing in this book. He's chopping up everything from wolves to he threatens the wizard with his axe. He also chops up some of the trees where we see him in the movie. They have a little bit more vital role here when they're trying to get to Glinda, and yeah, he's just chopping away with his axe. Scarecrow twists the neck of a crow and just keeps doing that because the animal defenses that Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, has, not very good. She has swarms of bees, packs of wolves, murders of crows, and they all just attack one at a time. Probably if they all attacked at the same time, they would have been able to, I don't know, defeat whoever they were fighting. But they go one at a time, get just offed one at a time. So, yeah, interesting there. Wizard pretty much plays the same role. I mean, he's just a charlatan who, in this one, does feel trapped. He even maybe expresses some guilt about being the charlatan. Maybe just because he's trapped in the castle now, he can't actually go outside and reveal who he is. But still no powers, really not a ton of powers in the book. Yeah, overall, I honestly kind of enjoyed the read. Is it perfect? No. Is it something I'd pick up again? Maybe. Maybe not like right on the top of my list to read, but you know, it's fun, it's easy to read, it's not very long as you saw, and being that it's written for kids, it definitely reads a lot quicker than an adult one that's at the same page. A little less writing, awesome artwork, and again, just really cool to step back into like literature history. We're going back to 1900, so 125 years ago, and just seeing not only what inspired the 1939 movie, but what helped inspire the whole universe of the books, what helped inspire the universe and extended universe of the movies and the spin-offs. Just super cool. Really glad I did it. I would say overall, probably like anywhere from a 7.5 to an 8. I would say if you haven't checked it out, it's pretty easy. It's not going to waste your time or nothing. I'd say go read it. If anything, it's going to help you kind of just expand your knowledge of Oz and maybe make you want to go read the other 13 books that L. Frank Baum wrote in this universe. But yeah, that's my review. I was glad I checked it out. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, we are doing a sort of journey ourselves down the yellow brick road. So if you want to keep up with those videos, click the link to your bottom left. Now, if you want to see more Culz book reviews, click that link to your top left. For more here at Culz Paranormal, click that link to your top right. And don't forget to hit that like and give us a subscribe. Have you read The Wonderful Wizard of Oz? And if so, and if you've read the other 14, which one's your favorite? Tell us in the comments below.